Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Savannah Martinez, and I've been assigned Module 5, which comes from Chapter 37, Common Threads in Communication Theories. Being that this is the last chapter of the book, which referenced almost every single theory that the book had to offer, I wanted to focus on one thread specifically that the book covered that I felt could be applied to any aspect of communication, and that was the motivation thread. Now, the motivation thread, in my opinion, is the driving force of communication, stemming from the social exchange theory, which states that every social encounter has benefits and costs that come with it. The motivation thread also expresses our needs and desires that drive us to draw or think, feel, and act as we do. So now to see the motivation theory in action, I'll explain a situation that I'm sure everyone has been through before: venting to a friend. My closest friend and I have known each other for over 10 years, and neither of us are a stranger to unloading our issues and problems onto one another, no matter how personal the issue is. We both get together, we hang out, but at some point during the night, one of us will begin venting about our lives to fulfill our needs for affiliation, the need to reduce anxiety, and the need to reduce uncertainty. This is all what the motivation thread is about. And although we're very close, we don't always have a lot of time to see each other. So when we finally get together, we usually go out. Usually our hangouts always end up eating. We go out to eat, or we pick up food and bring it back to my house. And that's usually when the venting begins. And as I'm sure most of you watching may know, venting starts off with, your life, like, oh, I did this at work, and my best friend just got her license. So last time we hung out, that was like the main topic of conversation because she's about to be 21 and she's just now getting her driver's license. So it was a very exciting moment for her. And now she's working to get a car, and we talk about those things. But as the conversation continues, then, the worries and the struggles and the troubles begin to surface in the conversation. And you look to your friend for assurance, and when it's their turn to vent, they're searching for the same thing from you. So, she'll start off with, oh, I got my license, and then, oh, well, this happened at work, and this customer's rude to me, and then it gets a little deeper, and oh, her home life and stuff going on. Like, it always just, it comes out naturally. So, and then once she's done, I start with my, all the crazy customers I have at work, and oh, I got to hang out with my friends, and that was fun. And then it naturally kind of becomes negative, like, oh, well, I got a bad grade at school, or, oh, I got in a fight with so and so, and you just vent, and it comes out, and you're looking for that validation from your friend, like, hey, like, it's okay, like, you don't need them, like, it's gonna work out, like, you search for just reassurance that it's gonna be okay. So now that I've discussed the experience, I will now make some inferences. Based on the thread I've chosen, I think it's safe to infer that among any social interaction you may come across, you or the person speaking to you, or just the speaker in general, is motivated by their personal needs and desires. What that means is, anytime you're talking to someone, the cost is that you're seeking some kind of reaction, you're expecting them to listen, or maybe it's a combination of listening and some kind of feedback. And the benefit is that you're getting your needs fulfilled and the conversation is worth your while. So now that I've made some inferences, I will discuss how these inferences can be transferred into other situations. So whenever you find yourself in a conversation venting to a friend, or just telling someone about you had a bad day, or whatever the case may be, keep in mind that once your needs of being heard are reassured, or whatever you're trying to get out of the conversation, maybe you just want them to listen and just hear you out. Once that's been fulfilled, remember that everyone has motive behind their conversation. So when it's the other person's turn to talk, try and listen carefully to provide them with the needs that they're looking for, whatever it may be. So, in conclusion, as human beings, nothing is really done in our lives without our own personal motive as the driving force behind it. And this thread can honestly be applied in some way or another to any theory of communication the book has to offer, in my opinion. We all want our communication needs to be met, and as long as you keep that in mind, The flow of communication between you and the other person will be a lot smoother now that you have a better understanding of everyone's underlying motives and needs. I hope that you're able to take away something from this little video that I put together for you guys, and I thank you so much for your time.